Hey, come after you. Go ahead.
That's it. Thank you very much for joining us today at our select board meeting on Tuesday, November 18th. Here's 2025 at 6:59 p.m. We're going to do the agenda and then we'll do the pledge. So we're going to have our reports, managers meeting reports, financial reports, and our department reports. For any new business that we have some guests here as well. Ron Smith audit report, the consent decree request, the CEDC budget brief, the wheel loader bid selection, which we'll do at the end here, and the mobile vendor license application, and the proposed ambulance write-offs. And at this time, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, what are we going to go through? We went to the CDC first?
Yeah, I would request that we see the CEDC for the budget briefing and then Christmas and Poland request from CEDC funding.
Sounds good.
That's good. Right. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. First, I'll talk to you about the CEDC budget.
Go right to the typo first.
Yeah, no, that's all right. We'll just leave that one out. Are we gonna put them up or the slides up or no? Oh, he's working on it.
I
Okay,
think
great.
he's working on it.
Well, I'll get started. So, as you all know, FY27 is a pretty pivotal year for the CEDC. The Downtown Village TIF, which funds our committee, expires June 30th, 2027. So it's a big year, obviously, for a number of reasons. Yep, right there's good. Thank you. That being said, kind of wanted to give you a top-level strategic view of kind of our goals for FY27. Kind of bend them into 3 lines of effort. You can see them here. First and foremost, community momentum. All that really is meant to entail is everything we typically do, sponsoring events, engaging with businesses, trying to attract new businesses, preserving those things we give to now, like the lake associations and the chambers of commerce for both Oxford and LA. So more of the same, really. We'll be continuing to do that. That's our core mission, and we'll continue to do that in FY27. The second item is the Downtown Gateway. This is our work that we've talked about a lot about with the DOT. Really what we're hoping to do in FY27 is to get that across the goal line. At the end of FY27, we want a comprehensive plan that we can present to the board and ultimately the citizens of Poland, and to hopefully get buy-in and ultimately set the stage for funding in FY28, funding and execution in FY28. And finally, kind of the last line of effort we'll be focusing on in FY27 is coming up with a plan. Not necessarily for the CEDC, but for economic development and community development and what that could look like. And, we, the CEDC, would like to make a presentation to you all with options and what we've learned. So we've started that research like we talked about, and we're thinking spring of 2027 would be a good time to do it, but certainly I don't know how the select board works and budgets and all of that. So if there's a better time where this needs to be ready, like our recommendations and our report, we're at your mercy. So let us know what a better timeline would be if it's not the spring of 27. Okay.
Nobody would have noticed that.
Thanks for funding. All right, next slide. All right, so in terms of the budget, obviously the bottom line remains the same, 56.5. The items in red are things where we've kind of taken a little bit of money away, and really all of the red items we've moved into professional services. So you can see in 26 we had $4,600 under professional services. This really would be like professional consultants or anyone in that manner. And it could be in support of like the transition study that I mentioned, but also someone to help us with the village planning effort, etc. And then, so you can see we took a little bit away from special events. To date, we've never as long as I've been on the committee, spent that amount, so we're not too concerned. We've kind of mapped it out with all of the events that we fund now and where they fall in the fiscal year. We're not worried about having to not fund one of those events, we're still okay, and then some. And then we just tweaked like small things, like the printing, we don't spend that much on printing, and the dues and membership, that's consistent with what we'll spend this year. And then we took a little bit away from the beautification, but that's essentially our budget. It could change, in which case I would obviously come back to the board if in fact like there was a significant professional services that we thought was necessary in order to support the transition in '27. But as of right now, this is kind of what we're foreseeing for FY '27. Any questions about either slide or our focus, or the budget for that matter?
So this budget comes out of the TIF funding, so it's part of the TIF program, and it is an allowed expense underneath the TIF program, development program to be spent. We do have a cap on it for the overall life of the TIFs, and we're okay with that, we still fall within that cap. So when you develop your TIF programs, you have to have a cap on everything that you say. You have to say, for the next 30 years, we don't plan on spending over, I'll just say 100,000. And you have to stay within that cap, or you have to go back to your townspeople and ask them for permission to go over. We're still well within the CEDC funding cap that we set when we set the programs up back in 2000.
So you might come back with a different proposal though for the board, right?
For the budget, you
For the
mean?
budget, yeah.
Potentially, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like to leave that option open if we could, because, again, I don't really have a great feeling for what professional services might actually cost,
Right.
depending on what lane we take, but for now, I feel pretty good about the budget, and certainly, again, that bottom line is not gonna change regardless.
The DOT, that wasn't part of that, right? Is that part of the TIF or no?
The planning study, you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Well, right now it's pro bono, so DOT's doing that all in-house and there's no cost associated with
Oh,
that.
okay.
If we wanted to like jazz it up, say, make some posters for our civic engagement, for example, that could conceivably come out of the TIF funds and the CEDC funds, but right now, there's really no cost to that effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that would be part of the professional service?
Potentially, it could be, yeah.
Okay. And then the web design, that's in-house, isn't it?
That's the town web GIS,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what happens with that money? It wasn't you, so what happens with that? Does it carry over through with the TIF funding or no?
No, it is used.
Yeah, it's
Am I
so
missing
you're
it?
looking at '26 budget and
Oh,
not
yeah,
proposed
yeah.
for,
Okay, I
yeah,
apologize,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
zero
so
was
there are a
yours.
couple of things that
Yeah.
fall under the CEDC line that are not expenses that they expend or they have a say in. One is the website design, one is GIS web support, lake associations. Those three things they do not have a say in. Those
Okay.
are town programs that fall underneath the CEDC that will be paid regardless.
Okay.
But they come out of CEDC for as long as we have our CEDC.
Okay, yeah, I read that wrong, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Any other questions about any of this?
Have you looked into the personal services? And
For other things we have, but
Right.
not specific to any of the three lines of effort I mentioned.
okay,
Why do you ask?
I was just wondering, since we're bumping it up, what is it?
A little bit,
50
yeah.
for?
Yeah. Not specifically, I know it can get expensive,
Yeah.
depending on the scope, obviously, so. But we will be soon, we'll at least be looking into it, so I can come back and give you some
Okay.
sticker shock.
Yeah.
So we just need a motion from the board to move this forward as part of the TIF budget plan.
Make a motion that we put this part of the funding?
Second?
Second. Yes.
James Walker, John DeSantis.
Yes.
Lisa Elby.
Yes.
Jackson Lerner.
Yes.
With a vote of 4-0, you have approved sending the CDC budget briefing forward to the budget committee for review. And Mary Ann Hawks, our chair, is absent with notice tonight. And he's now going to talk about special event grant requests that came in for Christmas in Poland. It did not make it in the packet, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
sorry, I was
everybody-
late in sending it, my apologies, but Christmas in Poland, as you know, pretty routine and special event here in Poland. The CEDC has traditionally funded Christmas in Poland. They've come and they've asked for $3,950. A side note, CEDC last year changed, we set limits to special events to $4,000, so this is a little lower than typical. And we tried to do a better job with our application and make it a little more specific on what that money is being used for. So you can see in their application, and I'll go over it quickly if you haven't had a chance to read it. $1,000 for police services, $1,800 for marketing and promotion, and then $1,150 for DJ services. And on their marketing and promotion, they do a really good job. They do, it's listed further in the application, but they're doing a lot of things with that money. Social media, as well as mailers. So the CEDC voted unanimously to support this request and to fund it, and we are asking you all to do the same. Any questions?
Just need a
Motion
motion from
to
someone.
move it forward?
Make a motion that we move this forward. $3,950.
Second.
James Walker,
Yes.
John DeSantis,
Yes.
Lisa Alby,
Yes.
Jackson Larner.
Yes.
With a vote 4-0, you have agreed to move forward the Christmas in Poland donations in the amount of $3,950 from the CEDC TIF funding. Thank you, Rob.
Awesome, thanks,
Yes.
Rob, appreciate it. Nice job.
If you don't mind, I believe we have Ron on camera, and he is our auditor, so we will get him up.
All right.
Hi, Ron, how are ya?
Doing good. How are you?
I'd be doing better if I could hear you.
So you just came back from skiing.
Can you hear me now?
I'm deaf, remember? Go ahead.
That's right. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So you're meeting number 2 of number 3 tonight. The 18th was a popular municipal meeting night for me. So listen. You all have in front of me. What we do is typically take all the highlights out of the audit. You guys all have that like summary page and report.
Yes.
So I'm gonna hit it all, answer any questions that you guys may have, and I'll certainly start by this, this is, of the second of 3 meetings, all 3 tonight were good government. Good managed governments, and Poland is no exception, let me certainly say that. So just to kind of hit the highlights, of it, is that you got our highest opinion, which is an unmodified opinion as of June 30, 2025. So we'll start with that. That's what you guys pay us for. So that's certainly, we come in, you give us your books. What you gave us is exactly what we give you back. That presents an unmodified opinion. If we saw any fraud, defalcation, levels of mismanagement that we believed in our professional opinion rose to that level, we would have to note it in that report. We saw none. Congratulations to the town of Poland. Unassigned fund balance. About $2.7 million as of June 30, 2025. It's right where you guys really want to be. It's down a little bit, about $300,000. That was a planned spend down, as of 6/30/25 when you put that 25 budget together. So certainly right where you want to be. You got about 75 days of fund balance. That's the sweet spot is 90 days. 90 days of your operating budget is the sweet spot. You are above average on that sweet spot, and that's where you guys have been. Literally, for the past 4 or 5 years, really kind of hovering, right at that sweet spot of where the outsiders looking in want to see you. Bond rating agencies, banks, places like that. You got $2.5 million set aside in capital reserves, and you've got $2 million dedicated to the various TIF reserves that you have, of which you just had a presentation tonight, which is a piece and attached to one of those TIF districts, okay? Those 2 things alone, compounded with the 75 days of fund balance, make you above average, way above average for a municipality of your size and what you got going on. So that when you look at your collective portfolio of what you guys have out there, you know, your reserve funds and these TIF funds that are set aside and earmarked for special purpose projects, that really puts you above into that A grade, you know, of where you're looking at and where you guys need to be. So, your revenues came in $172,000 above projections. That largely was, you know, attributable to your property tax collections coming in more, you know, than what they did the year before and what was estimated. Your expenses, you kind of hit that one right on your head. That really did contribute to your, you know, to your bottom line, but it didn't hurt you either. So your expenses within $90,000 favorable, you know, to your budget. And again, just to kind of sum up, you know, the year in that, Nikki and Derek, the information that you gave is what we audited, what we gave back. And I think once you guys got through that hurdle a few years ago, kind of converting your chart of accounts, you know, in Trio, I mean, really, you guys have just been on top of the game, and these have been smooth audits. Nikki and Derek are certainly that right there, Matt, you know, to talk about that. So like I said, down to Poland, carry on. You guys are doing all the right things, you know, certainly. And I'll say this, the world of government and doing this for 35 years is the ugliest I have ever seen it. You are not in that category. This is really what government should aspire to be, the town of Poland, and really kind of how you're handling your financial business. So.
Good to hear.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you so
awesome.
much for saying that, Ron. It's
Yeah.
greatly
Yeah,
appreciated.
it's important. And listen, I'm gonna go say the same thing to the next town that I'm in here right now, which is one of my hometowns, North Yarmouth, you know, up here. I'm gonna go say the same things. On Thursday, I'm not gonna go say the same thing to that municipality. It is on fire. Congratulations to the town of Poland. So,
Thank you so
seems like
much.
we only read about the bad things in the paper, so that's why I try to put an emphasis, you know, on this, you know. And we do 2/3 of all entire government in the state of Maine. Municipalities, counties, school districts, pieces of the state government itself. So I think I can speak with conviction when I say those words.
Well, we appreciate that.
Thank you
That's
very
awesome.
much.
Yeah, we're proud of our town.
Where do you
Good
see?
staff, good staff. It wasn't always these days, but your staff, that town had great pride. That town brought it back and resurrected it from about 15 years ago. If you guys can, you know, have any of that kind of recollection. These are good stories now in Poland. This is a good model. So for government.
Well, it's a testament to our predecessors too, so.
As the tip winds down, Ron,
Say
what do you,
that again, I'm sorry.
yeah, as the tip is winding down 2030, what do you see for our future?
Well, hear
It's
me
going
out.
ahead 5 years.
I don't think TIFs are gonna go away. I don't think growth in Poland's gonna go away. I
No.
think money's gonna come to you, you know, certainly at all kinds of directions. What I would start being doing is, and certainly, if you guys, Nikki and Derek and Matt, if you guys wanna have a conversation, what you don't wanna do is basically not have a plan as this TIF winds down. You know, so I'm more interested in really kind of what it looks like over the next 5 years.
Right.
You know, and really what we can do with that money, and certainly more than happy, like I say, I have so much background in TIFs. One of the things that I'm sure of, what happens in Poland stays in Poland. I want to keep that revenue there that was generated through this foresight, right there with you all.
So, Ron, we did do a TIF drawdown plan probably about 4 years ago. We signed on to it. And we are
Yeah.
working that TIF drawdown plan now to the end of the life of the TIF. So when we get to the end of the life of the TIF, there is as close to zero left in the TIFs as can be.
And Nikki, if you feel that you weren't gonna hit that shelf life in your 4-year plan, may I suggest we reach out to like a Tina Mullins or somebody
Yeah.
at the DECD and get an extension, folks. So
We already did.
That's simple. Just don't scurry up to the finish line and have a frivolous plan. You know,
No.
that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for anybody. It's not gonna work for Poland. It's not gonna work for your business partners. Don't do it. There's no need to. There's just no need to.
Yep, so we have that drawdown plan that we're working on, and
Yeah.
I'll share it with you at some point, Ron.
Yeah, and I'll look forward to that, Nikki, but like I say, with, in the absence of, you know, that drawdown plan really not coming to fruition, you know, carry on, you know, really, extension. It's that simple. So,
Awesome.
Good enough.
And you said you did that extension?
Yeah, but we already have the full extension. We extended back a while ago when we were able
yeah, that was
to.
about probably 5 years ago, and we extended it, correct?
Yep, so we've already hit the extension limit. We can't extend it again, but
I thought, so listen, for unusual circumstances, I've seen them grant additional extensions, but if there's no need, if you guys are pretty much on top of your plan, you know, and certainly have some time, you know, to address it, there you go. I mean, you're all set, but
Yep.
like I said, don't let us sneak up to you to the finish line. I've
exactly.
seen that happen, bad decisions get made, you guys,
Mhm.
so.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
That's all I got.
So-
Listen, good news for Poland. Nikki, Matt, and Derek as well, if he is on this call. Reach out with any questions, for sure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody take care, have a good
Yeah.
evening.
You too.
Well, I like the sounds of that.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right.
if you want to move on to the consent decree, 'cause
Yeah.
we do have those folks here
Yeah,
also.
they can sit right there, they can step right up, right?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
have, we have 2 seats, 2 of you can come up if you want. She's like, who wants us to go?
Oh, bye.
Only the talkers.
Careful, might be yappers, careful what you wish for.
Oh, so am I.
Might be yappers, careful what you wish
Yeah,
for.
yeah, we yappers already.
Okay, so 160 Maple Lane, we were the real estate agents involved. Linda here was the seller's agent, I was the buyer agent, and Heather and Mike are the buyers, new owners that are here tonight. This was a transaction that involved resales. So this is why this was kind of so last minute on our end in terms of trying to get consent, where their house is already sold and we had to have an MLI done very close to closing because title had found there was some document that was,
It was a driveway that was a concern initially when an MLI was performed, they were stating that it wasn't, they didn't own the driveway. So that MLI, the driveway cleared. Then when they looked into it further, they noticed that as far as that the garage was placed 13 feet close to, to the setbacks. It's 13 feet beyond. Our concern or our issue was that this has been on the books, it has been permitted as far as that, they've been taxed. The Chechkis, or Chichis, they call them, or Chechkis, Chichis, own this property since '84. And they did the permits, it's on the tax card, they had no clue. Back in the day, Art had come over, visited the site 2-3 times, there's even photos of when he took it and put it on the tax
Scott
card.
had mentioned there being a note in the file of an inspection being done as well.
I have it, if you pull the tax card on there as far as that, there's a notation there with the photo on there, and it shows the notation of the garage being a new 1 1/4 garage installed back in '07. These people were kind enough to close because it was a snowball effect, so we said we will address this and have it checked. Scott, obviously, as far as he was hit on this as far as last minute, but again, stuff happens. I emailed him and said, listen, our emergency is not your emergency. And he said, yep, I looked at it, and he said, quote, unquote, I see that it's here, I will not make an issue of it, but I won't put it in writing. These people are like, well, what do we do? I mean, they'll come back and bite us in the fanny. She in turn called, same thing.
Yep.
I see it's in here, but I'm not gonna put it in writing, and, it's not gonna be an issue. My clients, the Chechkis, or Chichis, came in, gave him a hard time. He didn't even want to give him the tax card. And then finally, they got a little huffy and they gave him the tax card, which, we can get it anyways, but all these people are asking for is not to come and knock on the door and say you're going to get, you're violating, you have to move this, you have to, something has to be done, you're going to be fined. I mean, everything was done. I think Scott had asked, or I had asked the Chichis was, do you have the permit? Well, who's gonna have a permit that, you know what I mean? So in fairness to them, they dotted their i's and crossed their t's, expecting that everything was done, being taxed on a garage, being acknowledged on a tax card that, that they were acknowledged, and they just assumed everything was hunky-dory. So what came out to be a driveway issue became a garage issue.
Yeah.
And we had a snowball. I mean, they were closing on their house, they were closing on the Chichi's house, and I was closing on Chichi with another house, and we literally had movers all lined up.
Yeah, we had families on the verge of being homeless. It's kind of like a rush decision in terms of, well, you know, we felt that we might be able to plead our case and really get an approval here. And I don't know what you all know about real estate and what you don't know, so I'll just explain, just to give an understanding of why it's so important to get the approval. If something happens that changes in their lives and they need to go sell that property, they could only sell to a cash buyer. They can't sell to anyone that's going to get a mortgage because the mortgage is going to have an issue on this not being approved.
And they
It's too close.
Yeah, and then they don't have title insurance with this garage here because it's an exception.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do is get some acknowledgement from the town so that they can be insured for title insurance for the entirety. They closed it with that exception as far as that. But again, our job is to make them whole. We didn't wanna go through this in last minute. And this is why she's representing the buyers, but I'm representing the sellers, but this is a team effort to get it done.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul, you know what I mean?
So it has happened in the past, some issues like this, and how we've dealt with them before is we've asked that they bring a consent decree before the board. Either they can have an attorney write it up, or the realtors can write it up, stating what they're looking for, and then our attorney reviews it, or our attorney can work with them and write it up. They get charged the fee, of course, from our attorney to do that. And then you guys would approve it, but it's not the first time it has happened, it's not the first consent decree we would have. And they are right, what it does prevent is it does prevent new owners from being able to take out a mortgage, but it also prevents them because they have an issue on their lot, they're not able to get new building permits and stuff like that to do anything else because they have an outstanding issue, one that they didn't create.
And if you look at, I'm not sure if you're familiar where it is, but I mean, if they're gonna need that 13 feet for that setback,
whole slope, yeah.
It's like, it's probably 10, 14 feet like this, the road's up here, the garage is here. There's no way, and I understand with the setbacks, maybe for sidewalks and things like that, but there's no room for sidewalks, there's no room for more development on that road. So they're not asking for something to be changed because it's just getting the, you know, getting the ghost out of the closet for them or what have you, and just having it clear for them. You know what I mean? They bought it in good faith and move forward.
What do you need from us tonight?
Tonight, they just brought it before you guys, wanted to make sure you guys kind of were up to speed on it. They don't need anything from you guys because we don't have a decree in front of us to approve or deny. But they just kind of wanted to make sure you guys got a good feeling from you guys that yes, move ahead with getting the decree, let's go ahead for it, and then they'll bring it back to us when they have it ready. And then you guys can either approve it or deny it or ask some more questions on it. The biggest thing is just getting the attorney involved to look at it and make sure that it crosses all the i's and dots all the t's for everybody, including the town. That way nobody's, you know, it's all taken care of.
My only question is, and of course I support these folks getting into their home and making all this happen, is if in the future any renovations needed to be done on the garage, just is there a way to make sure that it's done not going further into the setback?
Yeah, that would be one of the things in the decree
That's
is that
my
it can't
only
encroach
question.
more. It would
Yeah.
have to go the other
That's
way
my
if there
only
was.
question, yeah.
It's only like a sliver
Yeah.
too, it's just, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
so.
But that's
Yeah.
what one of the things in the
Okay.
decree would be.
Yeah,
So-
that was my only
So
question.
what did you people hear out of the Board of Appeals?
We didn't go that far, this is.
Nikki's right, though. We've had this trouble over the years here. We've had different CEOs here.
Yeah.
And when they leave, the next guy doesn't know.
Crap.
You aren't the only
He doesn't
town
know anything.
either, I mean, we see it all the time
And
where
I see
there's
it all the time.
someone- yeah.
My brother, he's got an appraisal business, and he's all over the state.
Yeah, I know, it's Finn.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
know
that's
Finn,
my
I love
brother.
Finn, he's.
That's it,
he's a
yeah,
great
you're
appraiser.
right.
But it is an issue, you know, and it's something where you sit there and dot your i's and cross your t's and you still get bit in the fanny, you know what I mean? And it's just not a good thing. I mean, I live in Poland and I remember the days with Art and come on. Yeah, not disparaging him, but I just remember, and I would keep my paperwork just because he was notorious. I mean, I've been here for 26, almost 27 years.
Well, you know, I sat on the planning board for 6 years, and I've seen a lot of this come across. I'm gonna make it quick, because I know we got
Right.
a lot to do, but, you take somebody that buys a piece of property, an old right-of-way, and that right-of-way gets all fouled up, and then the people are fighting over that right-of-way, you ain't gonna drive through my property, I bought that. And
Well, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, title insurance is really imperative, in any property you buy, it does not matter, it covers your fanny. You know, you get an attorney that charges you $200-300 an hour, I mean, that title that you paid for, title insurance is so key. You know, and I've had burial sites where people, you know, all of a sudden someone comes down the back 40 and there's a burial site there, some people are going to acknowledge, you know, the person that's deceased, but it got missed in title. We can go on and on and on, but, I believe Scott is aware of the issue because we talked to him, and then I
And so is
believe.
the town manager as well.
Yeah,
The attorneys were away when we were closing, because we'd gotten this back the morning of closing actually, so it was really like a Hail Mary type situation. And I know that Linda was their agent, I wasn't Chi-Chi's agent, but I can say that as a buyer agent, that everything was like so well maintained that they were clearly all over it, so when she says that they went through everything, I believe that, cause I see homes as well where it's like questionable, but
I mean,
not
they-
here at all.
yeah, there was power in there, I mean, he even put a little slop sink in there and got permits for it, I mean, who does that? Seriously, you know what I mean, as far as that, which is a great way to do it, so this was what was irritating for him, so.
So as long as you guys are, right now, okay with them moving forward with it,
Yeah.
I'll, have them reach out to me on their decision on whether they wanna go with our attorney to write the decree, or whether they want an attorney to write it. And, then we'll get that part moving and get it back to you guys as soon
Vicky,
as we
quick
can.
question for you, sorry. If they do choose to go with your attorney, what is the fee for that? What's the cost? Do you know?
I don't know because our attorney would stop to review it, so I don't know
Okay.
how long it would take, but
Okay.
it's not obviously gonna be as much money
Yeah,
because
yeah.
our attorney wouldn't be writing it.
Okay.
So definitely, but I'll give one of you my email, and if you
Okay.
guys can just kind of loop me in tomorrow or
Yeah, yeah.
whenever you guys get, talk about it, decide what you wanna do going forward, and then we can move that forward.
Okay.
So if we have the consent decree drawn up by title company or someone, so the fee's only gonna be for the attorney, our Poland attorney to
To
do-
review it
Okay.
and stuff like that.
So that's not a service that can be provided being Poland residents?
No.
I tried.
Yeah.
I negotiated.
Unfortunately, no, so, but,
So
I was thinking.
before we move this along, I got some questions, for future reference, and I'm curious on, how the town didn't know this before this sale took place.
They owned it since '84.
They've never sold it, yeah.
So when homes are permitted, it's up to the homeowners to have the property surveyed and stuff like that. Once it's up, we don't go out with a tape measure and measure and see if the setbacks are right or not, and it never comes into question unless someone does have a survey done and they notice it's too close. So a lot of these older homes, we have no idea whether they were built as the plan said they were and are where they are. That's just not something that code enforcement does when they look at that. They're going by what the builders are, they're going by that, they said it was this far away, okay. What the plan says is what the code enforcement officer is, he's permitting the approval of the buildings and stuff like that. So that's how we don't know about them. But when it comes down to issues and they're getting titles and stuff and things like that, that's when these come up, and a lot of these houses are older and the lines aren't quite where we thought they were back then, because that rock is no longer there, that was pulled out where the tree is to the
Yeah.
left.
So my second part of that is, so the seller knew about it though, right?
No.
So
They-
this is, how many times has this house been sold and,
This is the first time.
This was on family land.
Yeah.
They put that mobile home there in '84. And then there was the garage, the garage that's there now, there was an existing one. And he just wanted to move that one, use that as far as, and place it where it was. And when Art came over, as far as that, I think, and I can't, don't quote me on verbatim, but I think they told me he's fine, just don't go any closer. That's what Chi-Chi told me, John, told me.
And what year was that?
I'm sorry?
What year was that when he
Oh,
decided?
07, I believe.
Yeah, when it
Yeah,
was
the tax,
07.
the tax card was saying 07, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about,
Yeah, it was, right here,
Yeah.
5/31/07, yep. And
So-
was Art here in '07?
yes.
Okay, I don't remember when he.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was right around then that he
Yeah, it
left,
was.
but in '07 he was here.
yeah, cause I was 98, I moved in in
Yeah.
ice storm of 98, so, yeah. Okay.
so when we move this forward, the town will bill Who?
The
Not the
town,
buyers?
they'll let me know who the bill needs to go to.
Okay,
And once the bill is paid, it'll come forward to you guys.
okay,
So it's up to the decree to get all done up, and then the bill to be paid, and then it goes to you guys.
okay, so you guys will decide,
I'd like to know a fee, you know, it's
Yeah,
not, but
yeah.
we want it
Yeah.
remedied, you know, also.
Yeah, yeah.
It's-
so in good faith
Yeah.
to the owners?
Absolutely,
Okay.
You know, I mean, she's representing them and I signed something, said I would be here and I couldn't come 2 weeks ago because family, but you know what I mean, and I wanted to make sure I was here, so yes, we don't just, you know, wipe our
Yeah.
hands clean of it, so.
Yeah, we
Okay.
care about
do,
compliance
yeah.
and everything,
So,
for sure, yeah.
But
Especially
you-
I might see her at the transfer station or something.
You know what my brother does?
Uh-huh.
Every time you make a move, if you're gonna borrow money, if you're gonna do renovations on that property, you've gotta go, call him up. The bank is gonna, or anybody's gonna have an appraisal to see if the land is, straightened out.
Well,
And you can't make a move without him doing it.
traditionally, this wouldn't have happened if there was.
Titles and everything.
But they would, and the mortgage loan inspection wouldn't have been completed unless it was a question about the driveway situation.
Yeah,
And you know, so normally traditionally MLIs that they're not done.
No.
I have them ordered for 99.9% of my clients because of this. Unless it's a cookie cutter little neighborhood, you know, ranch or whatever, but that wouldn't have been found out. And if they ever went to go sell and someone else said something or whatever, they, not in a bad way, but the chichis were flying under the radar because they thought they did everything right.
I'll tell you something that was tricky in this town. We never had a planning board until 1971. My dad and a couple other people, because they're all passed now, they were the first planning board that Poland had. But people were building tar paper shacks and they're living in them. And they were living in their cellar holes. You can't do that anymore.
Do you know Gardner doesn't even have code enforcer?
Really?
No, I'm like, okay, where's the plumbing inspector, where's the electric, you know, the electrical, where's the permit? We don't have a
Right.
code enforcer, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So Tom did tar paper shacks?
I mean, we had
Does-
people back in the
John,
50s.
were all your
They were living in
questions
old
answered?
school buses,
Yeah.
you name
So
it,
we
they
can
could live in
move it on.
England.
Do we have to approve that once it gets put into effect?
Well, we have to
Yes,
see it
yes, the
first,
board
right?
has to sign off and approve it once
Yeah,
it,
so
so
we'll
it has to,
look that
you
over.
guys will see that come back to you guys
do you have any
again.
other questions for us about it?
We're gonna make that decree so short and sweet so it doesn't take the
Perfect.
attorney time.
I know.
Put some pictures in there too. that'd be
names
great.
are-
Put some pictures in there.
That means you guys must be paying for it.
She just gave us her email, I'll send you the.
I'm sorry, Jess, what did you want
If
me
you
to?
could put some pictures in there, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
Keep it
Well, I almost
short.
asked him to take pictures this morning so I could show the garage.
Alright guys,
But we
thank you guys
your
for coming
time.
so
You're
much.
very
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll
Thank you.
reach out to me and we'll
We will.
figure out who's gonna do it. and
Thank you so much
have a
for
nice
your time.
evening.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Good luck to
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right.
Right?
It's time for
Manager
Ron
report.
Smith, do you wanna go to manager report?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to manager report.
Right back to the top, right?
On page 2, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Transfer station, paving and metal building are complete.
Yay.
It looks really nice up
It
there. Library parking lot, Public Works completed the gravel parking lot. Again, that looks really nice over there. MMA Executive Committee, they discussed property and casualty and workers' compensation. MMA offers a 10% discount for participants who fulfill certain requirements. Poland does meet all those requirements, and we do get the maximum discount from them on our insurance for that. Library update, this is an exciting one to
Very
finally
exciting.
share.
Yep.
Congressionally directed spending funds in the amount of $750,000 were included in the appropriations bill. The president recently signed. The next step is to complete the grant application and get access to those funds. Once that occurs, we can start work.
Yay.
Yeah.
So long time coming. We have the bond also that was approved.
That's right.
So we will get numbers together with the people who bid on it, who were the winning bidders of it, to see if we fall within what we have and we can spend up to what we have and hopefully
That's wonderful.
get that finally moving forward. So
That's
that's
awesome.
big
Yeah,
news
that
and
is.
long coming news, you
Yeah.
know, waiting
touch
on
and
it.
go.
So with that, that is the manager's report.
Excellent.
Do you need a
Next.
motion for that one?
No.
No.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
And then move on to the
Next up is the
financials.
financial statement. We are 38.46% through the year. Fire rescue total wages are a little above at 39.72%. we're doing really good at collecting taxes, we're about 50% of the way there, which is great. We're never 100% of the way there because we always have ones that we have to lean and stuff, but 50% halfway through the year is a good spot to be on those. Looking at and I'm sorry I didn't have a lot of time to review the report before tonight's meeting, but looking at the revenue report, the only thing I do want to bring out is code enforcement fees. You'll see we are 88%, and that's because we've had a couple of huge projects in town. That is not the norm. We had a couple multi-million-dollar homes that are going up around one of the ponds, and that is what has put us so high at that. So that is not an expectation that will move forward into next year's budget, unfortunately.
Come on.
I wish. Going down through the expenses, I didn't see anything that really caught my eye and was a concern to me. All of them are falling within where we expect them to fall at this time of year. Did anybody have any questions or concerns on anything in the financial reports?
I do not.
We do not.
In the red, Nikki, where is that the ambulance write-off that's driving that red?
Yep,
Yeah, I
in the
thought it
revenue
was.
report, yes, those are the ambulance, right, those are the write-offs from insurance
Mhm.
and payments, yes.
Right.
Any other questions?
No?
So with that, I'll take a motion to accept the financial reports as presented.
So moved.
Second,
James Walker,
yes.
John DeSantis,
Yes.
Lisa Elby,
Yes.
Jackson Learn.
Yes.
With a vote of 4-0, you have accepted the financial reports as presented. Next up is the department reports. I did not see anything major in any
Yeah.
of the department reports. Just kind of going through them. I will say we had a 48% turnout for the November election. I know that's not in here yet. I'm sure it'll be in her next report, but that is amazing
It's wonderful.
turnout for a small election like
Mm.
that. And people say small, 48%. When I talk about small, it wasn't a presidential, it wasn't a
Right.
governor race.
Yeah.
It was just 2 referendum questions. And we also got some feedback that people were very happy with the gentleman who was collecting signatures out here, which is not true for all towns. A lot of
Mm.
towns had some issues with people collecting signatures,
Mm.
where there were police called and stuff like that, and our gentleman was very good.
Right.
Out here collecting, just asked if you wanted to sign and let you be in on your way.
Very nice.
And that's how it should be. We
Yeah.
run a very tight
Absolutely.
ship with our elections, and they know that when they come to us that they're not gonna get away with doing anything like that, and we're very proud of that.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's all I have for department reports.
All right. We need a proposal now a motion to accept our finance report.
No, we already did financial
We
report.
did that already?
You're already done.
We accept that already?
So, yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
We did.
So we're down to the wheel loader bid
It's a
selection.
1.4, I don't remember that. Where was I?
No, that's
no, we're not doing
payables.
payables.
You're
No,
way
okay,
down.
yeah,
You
I'm way-
skipped
I'm
all of
already-
us. You're way
oh, we
down.
still got some
We got
time.
more things on here
Yeah,
first.
you were out.
Yeah, I'm already,
All right.
I'm already running, yeah.
So the next is the wheel loader bid.
Yeah.
Bids were opened on Thursday, November 13th at 11 a.m. with Town Manager Matt Garside and Public Works Director Adam Strout present. We received 6 bids.
Mhm.
If you remember, we said the minimum, I believe, was $4,850, if I remember off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
sounds right.
And we got in some pretty good bids, and we are recommending that you go with Sam Sessions Inc., who was the highest bidder to buy it at $10,501. And this money goes right back into that same CIP line to help replenish for the next.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm really surprised we got that. I'm glad we got it.
Yeah.
I'm glad it came through.
Yeah, that was good. That
Yeah.
was pretty good. That was quick.
For having a town auction, no.
So just need a motion.
To accept?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the
Need-
Sam
need a s-
Sessions Inc.
Need a
for
second.
10,501.
Second,
James Walker,
yes.
John DeSantis.
Yes.
Lisa Albee.
Yes.
Jackson Learn.
Yes.
With a vote 4-0, you have accepted the winning bidder of Sam Sessions Inc. in the amount of $10,501. Next up is mobile vendor lab applications, excuse me.
Yeah.
So these are our Christmas in Poland ones that we do every year. Well, we have for the past 3 years, I think now. There is one that came in late, and it is Cheese the Day. However, they have been with us for the past few years. We've had no issues with them. They've been great out there. So we do ask that you accept them all together. So that would be a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are presented tonight to you. And the fee does not apply to them because it is a town event, so they do not get charged the mobile vendor fee.
Okay.
And this is for 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 12/7 and 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. on 12/6.
So motion to accept 7 mobile vendor license applications?
They take care of all their own trash and everything, right?
We help them with it. We have places here, but we have not had any issues with any of them. They do really well.
I make a motion that we accept these 7 vendors.
Second?
Second.
James
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
John DeSantis.
Yes.
Lisa Albee.
Yes.
Jackson Lerner.
Yes.
With a vote 4-0, you have approved all 7 mobile vendor applications. The 6 in the packet, along with Cheese the Day as the 7th one that came in.
Jeez.
I love it, I
Yeah,
know.
me too.
The next thing is the proposed ambulance write-offs. These are the ones that get sent to the Thomas Agency for collection. When they come back to us, when Thomas Agency collects on them, we get what percent? Is it?
Well, the last payment we got, they collected 50 and we got 35, so.
Yep.
They keep a
So
decent-
they keep, but at least we get something and it
Yeah.
gets off the books.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the grand total is $18,959.99. And just for everyone's knowledge, Poland is the biggest one that's outstanding there with 11,400. Sometimes that comes up. People think it's a lot of out-of-staters and stuff, but it is our own Poland residents too.
That's never gonna go away, huh?
No.
Well, and there are different varying reasons why there are write-offs.
Yeah.
Whether
Absolutely.
it's insurance or, you know,
Well, not only
inability
the
to
one
pay
in
or
the same boat.
whatever.
I was talking to the guys down at St. Mary's from United. He said they're in the same boat down there.
Oh, yeah.
He said people just can't afford to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hurt, you gotta take them.
Yeah.
I move that we accept the proposed ambulance write-offs for $18,959.99.
I second that.
James Walker,
Yes.
John DeSantis,
Yes.
Lisa Albee,
Yes.
Jackson Lerner.
Yes.
With a vote of 4-0, you have accepted and approved the ambulance write-offs in the amount of $18,959.99. Now we can go to your
There we go.
payables.
John's favorite
Yeah,
page.
somebody else gets to say the number now.
Oh my god!
That's what I love.
So I need someone to accept the payables in the amount of $1,464,441.49.
So moved.
Second.
Chicken way out.
James Walker,
Yes.
John DeSantis.
Yes.
Lisa Albee.
Yes.
Jackson Lerner.
Yes.
With a vote 4-0, you have approved the payables in the amount of $1,464,441.49. Any other business?
I'm good.
Do not.
I'm good.
All right.
I don't have anything either.
I move that we adjourn.
So moved.
You can't so
You
move.
Oh, I can't so
You
move,
can't-
that's right.
You can't even
Who's
second
so
it.
moving?
didn't say that.
So moved.
I moved it. We
James
need to-
Walker.
Right.
Yes.
John DeSantis.
Yes.
Lisa Albee.
Yes.
Jackson Lerner.
Yes.
With a vote 4-0, you have adjourned the meeting. Have a great evening, everyone.
All right, now,